Hello! Welcome! So I'm back to do plans for the next month. It is again mid-July because it took me too long to get to this point, and this vlog is likely to be a little bit different to some of the others in that I'm making things for other people. This month I've got a lot of things that people have asked me to do for them, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know whether I'll manage to persuade my lovely friends to then model the outfits, so you might see them on dressmakers dummies or a hanger by the end of the month, but we'll see. I might try to get a photograph. So yes, this month is all about selfless sewing, unintentionally. In other news, I finally got my hair cut. Yes! It's been 3 months since I got it cut, and when your hair is as short as this and as ridiculous as mine is, you can't get away with that for that long. So my hair is short again, and I am supremely happy about this. We're also back in the room with the swivelly chair, because it's tidy. We had people to stay, and therefore I tidied, and so I thought I'd make the most of it before it descends back into a sea and pit of chaos. But yes, that's where we are. So I'm going to show you the fabrics, and it's not as big a list as last time because I'm making things for other people and it's late in the month and there's all sorts of other things going on, but it doesn't matter. There is still sewing happening and this is fine. So the first one, my lovely and delightful younger sister is turning 30 this month, which quite frankly is ridiculous and makes me feel a bit old. Having a sister who's 30 means that you are definitely no longer in your late 20s, which is what I keep telling myself that I am. So she's turning 30, which is hugely exciting. Hi Hannah, happy birthday. So I'm making her a dress. The pattern first. I recently purchased this marvellous thing, Gertie's Ultimate Dress Book, which I have ogled in bookshops and online for a very long time, and finally decided I just probably needed to buy. So the one that we eventually decided on was this one. The Polka Dot Day Dress. And why wouldn't you? Isn't she sublime? Yeah, this is lovely. So it's a boat neck bodice. It's got a midriff section and then a full pleated skirt. Now, a full circle box pleated skirt, which would be perfect because Hannah again has a figure where, because she has got a lovely magnificent bosom, is good if she's got some width on the bottom half to sort of balance it out proportionally, so that's really good. But then I looked at the fabric that she wants and she wants to use, and actually I think it's going to not work for the circle skirt for reasons you will see very shortly. So what I've decided to do is add this skirt on instead. So the skirt from this one, which is a side pleated box skirt. It's a side box pleated skirt, which still has the fullness but doesn't have the issues that come with making a circle skirt. So that's the pattern. And this is just, this book is just awesome. I've not made anything out of it yet. I've just sat and looked at it a lot. This is one of my favourites. It's like me, that's basically my ultimate perfect dress. Boat neck, slim line, pink, what would you not want? Anyway, it's great, and it's got loads of really useful, basically the whole of the first half is all technique stuff. It's in a ring binder, so it actually sits flat when you've got it open, and then in the back there is a pouch with all the patterns, which are full size, so you just need to trace them off. So it's great, I highly approve. So once I've made it, I'll be able to tell you whether the instructions are also as good as the actual sort of concept of the book and the patterns, but that's that. So fabric, I'm so excited. So my sister loves foxes, as does everyone. There's a lot of fox stuff around in the UK at the moment. I don't know whether that has translated off to other places, but foxes are in. Owls went through a period, but apparently they've been shunned. It's now all down to the foxes. And Hannah loves foxes, and so I was looking for fox fabric for her, because why wouldn't you want a dress with foxes all over it? And I found this. And this is the most amazing thing. Just look at it! Look at it! It's foxes with hats and waistcoats and scarves and bow ties and monocles. I mean, yes. pretty. I love this so much. It makes me so happy. And I think will make an extraordinarily amazing dress. It's Robert Kauffman cotton, it's 100% cotton. It's really soft. Robert Kauffman just has these beautiful, the texture and quality of their fabric is lovely, and one of my very first vlogs, that interweave purple shot cotton was a Robert Kauffman one, so I know that these fabrics are lovely to work with, and they're very high quality, which is great. I think she bought this on eBay because I don't actually know exactly where you can source it offline. But it's still on the Robert Kauffman website, which suggests they still make it actively, so I presume it will be places. But the only thing with this, obviously, is that it's quite directional, in that the print goes in one direction. You couldn't really have it this way round, because they'd all be having a snooze. So unless you wanted snoozy foxes, that would be a problem. So with a circle skirt, because you cut it out, it's just a big circle, that means that in some places the pattern will turn sideways. It's hard to describe. It's like you're drawing a circle on a piece of paper like this, and this is down. So you stand in the middle, and then that's the way out, which means that in some places down is like that way, which means your fox is on the side. Anyway, so I looked at it and I thought, oh, she's going to get really upset if the foxes are the wrong way round, because she's also quite likes her things to be ordered and neat. So I thought that the pleated side skirt would be a compromise, because it's actually it's in one piece, and you cut it so most of it is on the grain, and therefore the foxes will end up being a bit wonky, but they won't be completely off centre. I mean, obviously pattern matching this is going to be a complete nightmare, because it's got the midriff section and the pleats, I'm not going to worry about trying to match the pleats, because that will, no. But the midriff section, I think it will be really obvious if they don't match up. So I'm making a toile first to see how that goes, and I'm going to find a cheap fabric with a directional print so I can check that it's going to work the way I like, and that it's supposed to do. But yes, this, I'm slightly jealous, and I might actually have to make a dress out of something like this myself. I thought it would look amazing in a Megan, because this is such a simple pattern. I mean, it's so great. Yes, so unless you can't tell, I'm excited about that one. And my sister's birthday is actually at the end of the month, so this is quite high up on my list. I cut out all the pieces, traced them all and cut them all out yesterday. So I need to get out there and get some fabric and then actually make up a practice version of this quite quickly so that I can get it ready for her. Because I'd quite like to be able to give it to her for her birthday rather than in August. So there we go. Fox's day dress. Oh. Right, next. So next, my lovely friend Chloe, who is a big fan of my sewing activities, is supporting me. She's asked me to make her a dress. She recently came back from Singapore, where she was living for a couple of years, and she bought some silk while she was in Singapore, so that's no pressure. It's beautiful. She sewed it to me the first time she got back, and it's a gorgeous white and black print silk. It's lovely. And she would like me to make her a dress similar to this one. So this is Vogue V8814, and it's this view A. Hopefully you can see. And it's a strapless dress, and it's sort of got a dropped waist and then a sort of flared skirt. But all of the seams pretty much are on the bias, so that's good. So yeah, I am very much making several practices of this before I have a go with her beautiful silk, so that I don't ruin it. But it's really nice to be able to make something for somebody who I like so much, and would like to be able to give her something beautiful that she can wear. And I think she has a wedding in September, so wedding season, what can I say? So this I bought, I haven't got the silk because she's still got it, but I bought a polyester silk-esque fabric from the Craft Palace in Tooting, the Crafty Sewer. I went in to find something that was very lightweight and would reflect the kind of drape and movement and difficulty of work that the silk had, so I got this. I don't like the print at all. I think it's quite ugly, but it's the right weight. You can see it's actually very sheer. Hello! Which I think her silk isn't quite as sheer as this, but it will give a really good idea of what the actual fabric's going to behave like, and allow me to work with something that really won't like being cut on the bias and all sorts of other things to make sure that I don't cock it up entirely. So, ooh, it's also very tricky to, I'm going to throw it over here. yeah, so I'm going to have to try and do that too. I've got a bit more time because it's September, so I'm going to do that once I've done my sister's dress. So there we go. So that's sort of silk-esque polyester. And then the last thing is for me. I was in Tooting after I'd been to the Craft Palace. I was walking down to my sister's house. He lives just at the other end of Tooting High Street. And there's quite a few fabric shops. Tooting's amazing for saris and Indian fabrics. There's a huge Indian and Sri Lankan community there. So they've got beautiful shops with amazing sari fabric, and one day I will go in and buy some and make something from it, but this month was not the month for that. But there's a shop called the Textile Centre or the Fabric World, or yeah, I can't remember. If you're walking from Tooting Beck down towards Tooting Broadway, it's on the right hand side. You go past a little Tesco and it's, I don't know, maybe 50 yards on the right. And a lot of that, and it's one of those great shops where they have loads of stuff for like £2.50 a metre. And I wasn't taken with much of it, but I spotted this and I loved it. So this is viscose, and they happen to have a 2 metre length on the roll that they'd cut, but the person didn't want, or they didn't have something to do with it. So, and it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got sort of silver glittery stuff just around the edges of some of the roses. And it's got a lovely drape, and the colour's beautiful, and it's my colour palette. And I really wanted a lightweight summer dress. And this will be perfect for that. I don't really know what pattern I'm going to use. I might just draw something myself, but this is mine. So this is a lovely viscose in this colour. I just think it's so pretty. It's one of those fabrics that I walked past and I went, do I like that? I don't know. And then I thought, no, made up in a dress. I'm thinking sort of boat neck, grown on sleeves, empire waist, sort of midriff section, and then loose skirt, or possibly even a pleated loose skirt. That's sort of that's what I'm thinking. And I just thought, no, that's going to be beautiful. It's lovely. Could be granny-ish, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. So there we go. So that's the last one. So those are the three. The other thing I'm doing this month is trying to finish a project that I've been working on for about a year, which was that I decided to make a pom-pom rug. And any of you that follow me on Instagram, I have, and in fact on my blog, I made a pom-pom rug, and it was about this big, circular, and it was brilliant and worked a treat. But I backed it onto Hessian, and then I never actually did anything with it. I just left it on the floor. But the problem is that there's nothing to, Hessian's too floopy, and if you kick it, it just kind of crumples up into a ball and then gets kicked into a corner. So I decided that I needed to make something slightly more robust. So I now have this box full of joy. It's a box of pom-poms. I mean, you know, that's just like it's a box of joy. I'm gradually building up a collection of what I think is going to have to be about 200 of these. I've got about 75, most of which were from the original that I then dismantled. And I'm trying to finish this project this month so that it's done. And so I will show you the outcome. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because, quite frankly, I don't know, and secondly, it might change. But my pom-pom rug is also a thing that I really do need to get done. I keep finding little bits of wool about this big all over my house as a result. Yeah, and I started laying it out the other day and it looks amazing, just needs finishing. So that's the other thing which will take up time. But the nice thing is pom-poms I can just sit in front of the telly and make quietly without sort of disturbing people and having to use noisy machinery. Pop that down. It has other things in the bottom, it's not that heavy. Oh, hello, sorry, I just moved the camera. Yeah, so there we go. So that's the plans for the month. Other stuff that's happening in my life, what else is happening? Well, I have my haircut, obviously. Don't have many holidays planned for the rest of the year until September, rest of the year. I'm going away with my sister Hannah for the dress in September, but until then, not really doing masses. So I've got lots of time to get some sewing done, which is good. So hopefully I'll get those 3 things done, and if I make anything else extra, I will of course show you. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your weeks and weekends. It's Friday, so nearly the weekend, and I will see you again soon, hopefully slightly sooner than it has been the last few times. Okay, have a good time. Bye.